You know it's winter when I've cracked out this Zara jumper. It is the fluffiest, most warmest thing I've ever worn in my life. Hi guys and welcome to this week's video. I really wanted to share with you my top 6 oily skin hacks because I have really bad oily skin, and as you can probably tell in this video that I'm already beginning to get quite oily because I'm sat in front of these lights. But I have struggled with oily skin for years and years and years, and I just thought that I'd share some things that I found really help control my oil, or things that I do that I don't know if I've actually shared before. I don't know if I've shared any of these before on Twitter or anything like that, but I thought I'd do a YouTube video all about my top 6 hacks because these have really helped me out when it comes to trying to control my oils and making me not look as shiny every single day. And hopefully if you have oily skin and you've been struggling like I have for so long, hopefully these hacks will help you. I just thought I'd do a video for my oily skin gals because you are not alone. I know the struggles and it is so frustrating because sometimes it feels like no matter what makeup you're wearing, what skincare you're using, your oils are always there, and it's so frustrating. But hopefully these hacks will help you. I'm hoping to keep this video relatively short so we can crack straight through to them and you're not falling asleep by the time I come to finish it up. So if you guys are interested to see the hacks that I use on my oily skin, be sure to keep on watching. So the first hack is one that I have done for months and months and months, and I've realised that the Body Shop have just come out with a product made for doing this, but I've been doing this for months, so you're welcome, Body Shop. I'm joking. That is basically sleep in a clay mask overnight if you have really bad oily skin. So my 2 favourites are the Pure Clay Purity Mask from L'Oreal, and also I really like the Pure Clay Detox Mask. It doesn't really matter. I feel like the Purity one would probably work a little bit better just because it is mattifying, but I find any charcoal based ones work equally well. And basically I'll put these on before I go to bed, I'll sleep overnight in them, and then in the morning I'll wash them off and then continue to do my makeup. The reason why this works so well is obviously clay is used to draw out excess oils, or it helps to prevent your oils. That's why some foundations like the Tarte ones have clay in them to help prevent oils, if you didn't know. But basically if you wear this overnight, I know that when I wake up in the morning I have really oily skin just from overnight. But when I wake up, obviously I don't have any oils because it has been controlled by the mask. I wash this off in the day and then I find that I stay matte all day after I sleep in this. And again, the charcoal one works just in the same way. If you have spot prone oily skin, this one may actually work better because it's got even longer to draw out all the impurities. But either one of these I find work really well. But basically sleep in your face mask of choice that has clay in it. It's really important that it has clay, otherwise it probably won't work as well. And yeah, I feel like that's made a huge difference into my kind of nighttime routine. I'll probably do that once a week, and I feel like I'm still reaping the benefits day 2, day 3, which is amazing because it's so easy and you don't have to do anything extra. You just sleep in your face mask and you're done. Now my next hack is if you're using a pore filling primer, which I feel like most oily skin people do, because when you have oily skin you normally have enlarged pores and larger pores, and they are noticeable. I know that mine are. When you get really up close into my skin you can see my pores and it's not okay. So it is essential that every morning that I put a pore filling primer on. And the hack in here is do not rush your foundation after you put your primer on. What I'll do is I'll normally wake up, like wash my face, cleanse my face, etc. But I'll put the primer on and then I'll do something else, whether that be make myself a cup of tea, clean my teeth. I try and let it sink into my skin for at least 10 minutes. And the reason I do that is because 1, it really helps to absorb into skin and do its work. If you don't let it do its thing and then mix it into foundation, it's just not going to sink as deep into your skin. But also, obviously, if the primer is silicone based and your primer is water based, by mixing them before it sets, it can separate the foundation, which is not a good look anyway. I feel like just letting it sink in just makes your pores kind of close in on it, and then you also don't get foundation into your pores. It's just something that I've made myself get into the habit of doing because I've seen a huge difference when I do it. So if you don't allow your primer to really sink into your skin, I would really recommend it. I promise you, you'll see a difference. So hack number 3, and this may seem obvious but it may not, and it's definitely not something that I used to do. But what I would always recommend is using a really thin foundation or a thinner foundation than you're used to. And then if you need extra coverage anywhere, add that in with concealer. The reason why I say that is because it's really, really tempting when you have oily skin to really cake your face up, because you feel like you need to, because you think that in theory the more foundation you have on, the less your oils will break through. But trust me, when your oils break through, it will just look so cakey, and I cannot believe I went out in the house wearing such thick foundation when I really didn't need to. I would put something on like the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. So this is a really kind of like, it's not sheer because it's a good medium coverage, but it is very lightweight and it is very like thin in consistency. I find that this works really well in terms of adding a base onto my face, and then where I need extra coverage, because girl, I really need extra coverage in my dark circles. I get really bad blemishes, spots, all things like that. We all suffer from them, especially if you have oily skin. You're probably more prone to getting more spots and stuff. So I definitely would add in the coverage specifically in the areas you need it with concealer, because if you wear just too much foundation, it's really not a good look. And then you can set obviously where you've put concealer, and it just really helps to control it. But it's all about layering your base makeup, because if you go in too much, it just isn't, trust me, it's not a good look. And I just find that doing that just makes my skin look a lot healthier as well. And not wearing too much makeup will prevent clogging my pores, which will then in turn hopefully make me less oily. So, you know, it's definitely a good habit to try, and if you've not done it, definitely try something like the Maybelline one, because this works so well. It's a good medium coverage foundation. This is also matte and poreless, so it also works on the pores and things like that you also suffer with oily skin. But I just love this for adding a base, and then I can add in extra coverage where I need it. So does anyone else find that by having oily skin, your makeup just does not last? I cannot, well, since like I've started doing these hacks, I could not remember the last time that I would look in at my face. So what I would recommend doing is using a fixing spray, and I do this in between primer and foundation. So once my primer is already set, I will spray something like this. This is actually the Rimmel Insta Fix and Glow. It doesn't have to be a high-end setting spray at all. I find this one works as good as the Urban Decay one, but I will put this all over my primed face, and then I'll put foundation on, and it almost adds an additional layer for the oils not to break into, and it adds almost like a stickiness to my face for the foundation to obviously latch onto. But I also find that just adding that and then spraying it after I do foundation almost locks it in. So I just find that this trick just makes the world of difference. Again, you know, it's so easy to get hold of. This one is really, really affordable, but it'll work with any setting spray that you have. This one is actually a priming and setting spray, but I say that this really does help to prolong the longevity of my makeup. I obviously find that setting sprays do so much good, so by laying them up, it's just adding like extra layers to your skin and just making sure that everything really like stays in tight. And number 5, and this is so obvious, but before you apply your foundation or any kind of makeup products, wash your hands. And I know it sounds so silly and most of you probably already do it, but if you don't, you are transferring any oils that you have on your hands, bacteria or anything like that, onto your face, and that's not going to do the oils on your face any good whatsoever. So before you put foundation on or primer or anything like that, wash your hands, but thoroughly wash them, like proper washing with soap and stuff like that, and make sure they are clean and then like obviously dried up. But if you touch your face with dirty hands, trust me, it's not gonna help your skin at all, and obviously transferring bacteria onto your face is more likely to create spots, and it just doesn't help anything. So wash your hands if you don't already. I know it sounds silly and most of you probably do, but it's just something to really make a conscious effort of doing, because if you get into a routine, you might not notice that you don't do it. But before, like whilst you're waiting for like moisturizer to sink in or whatever, wash your hands up, and then once you like pat in primer, because I know that I pat in quite a lot of my products with my fingers, so it's just so essential to make sure you wash your hands. And number 6, this is my final hack for you, and going on the same theme, it's so important to wash your brushes. And trust me girl, I know the struggle of trying to clean your brushes all the time. I don't deep clean my brushes as often as I should, and I know that is so bad, but we're all the same. I'm not going to deny it. We are all the same. Cleaning our brushes is just the bane of our lives. But I would definitely recommend getting a brush cleaner, whether that be just to spot clean your brushes. It really, you should deep clean them, but if you can only spot clean them, I would just say spot clean them. But do it every single time you're about to do your makeup, because your makeup brushes are going to have dirt, bacteria, makeup product, all things like this just resting on it, and then when you go to put it on your face, you're then transferring that onto your face. Again, the same way about your hands, it's so important to make sure that whatever tools you're using are as sanitary as possible, because oils just, there's so much that can cause oils on your face and stuff. And I'm not saying that because you use dirty makeup brushes it's because you have oily skin, but everything like this really does come together, and it is so essential that whatever you're putting onto your face is as clean as possible, because as soon as you start transferring dirt and stuff, you're never going to get your pores cleaned, and you're never going to extract all of the nasty stuff from your skin if you are just layering it back onto your skin. So just make a really conscious effort to try and wash your brushes as much as possible. And I know it's so hard, but like I say, I normally just kind of spot clean them before I use them, whether that be for my eyebrows, powder, things like that. I really do try and clean them as much as possible. I use the Makeup Revolution one, and that's only £5. I feel like that's really good, and it works just the same as my MAC one. The MAC one is equally really good. It's obviously a lot more pricier, but because I do try to clean them every day, it's better just to buy an affordable one. But I would definitely recommend just washing them as often as possible. And if you can deep clean them, it's obviously best to deep clean them once a week. I know people should probably say you should do it more often, but let's be real, we don't have the time to deep clean them more than once a week. But every 2 weeks at a push. Don't try and prolong it any longer than that, because obviously bacteria does grow so quickly. So the more dirtier your brushes are gonna get without you even seeing the dirt, and it's nasty. So just try and clean them as much as possible. Again, just you can use baby shampoo and stuff for cleaning your brushes when you do deep clean. You don't need expensive stuff. Don't believe that you need a really expensive brush cleaner to get all the bacteria out. It's all about it being regular more than the products that you're using. If you're using cheaper products but more regularly, that's absolutely fine, and they work just as well. So I hope those hacks have been helpful for you. If you have oily skin like I do, you obviously know the struggles, and it's so hard, but girl, it's okay. Trust me, you're not in this on your own. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever tried out any of these hacks before. If you have your own oily skin hacks that you really want to share with the world, do let me know what they are in the comments below. I'm thinking of doing more of these type of videos for oily skin more often, so I'd love to hear what you guys do to try and prevent oils and prevent and shine, things like that, because it's such a pain. So do share your tips and tricks with me, and I'll probably do another video not too long in the distance, because I feel like these things are really helpful, especially for people that are just starting to get into makeup but think, girl, I have oily skin, what is the problem, what can I do? It is one of those things that we have to deal with, so let's deal with it together. So like I said, share those in the comments below, like this video if you found these hacks helpful. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy these style of videos or like beauty and lifestyle videos. I make 2 a week, and I'd love to have you guys part of the family. I hope to see you guys in my next video, and until then, I hope you have a lovely evening, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye guys!